Plaintiff Clay Moore says he met the defendant 3 years ago when he started dating her mother. Clay claims he and his girlfriend had issues with the defendant's parenting style, and he's suing her today for the balance due on a loan. Defendant Crystal Foxwell says within weeks of meeting online, Clay moved in with her mother. And that's when she realized that Clay was a raging alcoholic. Crystal insists the money from Clay was a gift, and therefore she doesn't owe him anything.
Start with you.
Yes, sir. About 3 years ago, I started dating Crystal's mom, and then we'd all end up getting together and enjoying things together and so on and so forth. But eventually, it ended up growing into a lot of tensions about the way Crystal and her mom would get along about the way she would handle her parenting and so on and so forth. And
so you had a few disagreements that caused tension in the relationship. And what was the outcome?
They would get down to, they would end up not even talking to each other, as far as she'd cut her off or cut her phone off, block her, and wouldn't even talk to her. They haven't talked for 2 months.
Why do you think that is? What is your observation?
It's because Crystal don't want to do enough time with her kids and stuff like that.
Okay, let me hear some background from you, ma'am.
Hi, Your Honor. I met Clay through my mother, who met Clay on a dating website. Within weeks' time of them being together, Clay moved in with my mother. After meeting Clay, we realized that
Hold on, is your mother here?
No, okay. I don't. As far as I know, they're not even together. We realized after weeks of Clay being in the home that he's a raging alcoholic. Every time my mom and Clay would split up, we would put him into a hotel room, which he relied on me for discounted rooms because I'm a general manager of a hotel. So that's actually how I know Clay.
And you've only known him 3 years?
They got together in 2016. My mom met him on a dating website.
Okay.
So,
and has he interfered with you and your mom's relationship at all?
He's not so much as interfered with me and my mom's relationship, but he's came into something that he knows nothing about. They just met 2 years ago. So if me and my mom have a falling out, Clay calls me, harassing me about the situation.
He calls you?
Yes, absolutely. And actually, my witness that is here was there.
He calls you and says what? Give me an example.
I don't like the way that you're talking to your mother. You shouldn't talk to your mother like that.
Do you know whether your mother has asked him to call you?
I have no idea. He just took it upon himself to call me up.
And how old are you, if you don't mind?
I'm 36. And as far as my parenting, I actually have custody of my children, so I'm not sure what he's talking about with that either, sir.
All right, sir. Do you want to defend yourself against the allegation you're a raging alcoholic? That's pretty inflammatory allegation. If you are, we'd be glad to help get some treatment for you.
No, sir. I don't know where she comes off with that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I mean, it's just totally off the wall.
All right.
She doesn't have any knowledge about how I am or who I am.
Okay.
And all I
you certainly seem to know a lot about her.
Well, all I know is she.
I got that. I got what you claim you know. And you say that she doesn't know about you, but you know everything about her. $500 for the loan. Tell me how she owes you. What happened?
Back in July, she ended up having her car impounded. And me and her mother took her to Department of Motor Vehicles, where she was needed $1,000 to get her car back. So I took money out of my credit card to give her $1,000 so she could get on the road and get her car out of impound. And she told me she was going to pay me as soon as she got her security deposit. And
her what?
A security deposit on an apartment.
As soon as she received her security deposit back,
she was going to pay me.
When she got it back from her landlord.
Right, she was going to pay me.
But she borrowed $1,000 from you?
Yes.
All right, so what did she pay?
Okay, her ex-husband came by about a week later and he gave me $300 for her. And then at the end of the month, I hadn't heard anything. So I went over to her house and we got into it, and she gave me $200 and said that's all she could give me at the time.
All right. And when did she agree to pay the balance? Did she say?
She said she would try to get me the money when she got a loan because she was moving.
And she never gave you a specific time before, other than when she got the deposit back. Do you know whether she received the deposit back?
I never knew. She said she got it, but the check was in the wrong name. She got the deposit, but the check was in the...
Let me hear from you, ma'am, about the loan.
Okay, Your Honor. So we went to the MVA. Me and my ex-husband had a little matter with an insurance violation that was actually on my ex-husband. I took my mom and Clay for moral support because me and my ex-husband weren't getting along at the time. When we got
moral support.
They just went kind of like me and my ex-husband.
Yeah,
were
that
going
Secretary of State is immoral sometimes, the way they charge people and how you waiting in line for an hour. You're right. You need some moral.
Me and my ex-husband don't get along the best. So my mom was off of work, so her and Clay came with me. When we got to the MVA to get an insurance violation straight, we realized it was a lot more money than what we initially got the phone call about. At that time, I did not have that much money on me to get it straight. The day before that, they had towed my car for an insurance violation, and I needed my car back. So Clay took it upon himself to go up to the window and give him his credit card for the amount that was due. My ex-husband did look at him and tell him on that Friday when he got paid, he would give him 300 towards it, which was kind of like half of what Clay had gave us. So he gave him that amount. Clay never said anything to me about a loan, about paying him back. We considered it as a gift. Me and my mother had a falling out. That is when, after me and my mother had a falling out, that Clay called me up, told me that I was lucky that I was not at home because he was coming by my house because he was on his way to a Shorebirds game. That's when, as again, my witness was there, and he called me up and told me that he wanted his money. It was after me and my mom had a falling out.
And what did you say?
I told him how I felt about him, that he was only calling me not to harass me anymore, that he was only calling me.
Did you remind him that it wasn't a loan?
Yeah, I told him he never mentioned this before. Me and my mom had a falling out. He told me that he's sorry that he called me right now, and that he was at a Shorebirds game. And that's all that he had said.
You've never heard from him other than that instance? Well,
since then, I was sitting at work, which I'm a general manager of a hotel, and I served papers. And that was for the $500.
When was that?
This was in August.
When did he first start harassing you about it?
The beginning of August is when me and my mom had a falling out, and he called me.
You've never told him, I'll pay you when you get your deposit back?
No, Your Honor. He actually...
Did you ever pay him?
No.
He says that he has received $500.
He came to my house and asked for money, and I had $200 on me, and I told him that's all I had.
Why would you give it to him? Why wouldn't you remind him, I'm not giving you anything. This was not a loan. This was a gift.
Right.
Why did you give him money? That indicates
just to get him away, get him off of my poor.
What about your boyfriend? Did your boyfriend also give him $300?
My ex-husband actually gave him
$300?
$350.
And was he scared and just wanted to get him out the house too?
No, he actually went by his house and gave it to him.
Right, because he must have believed you owed.
Right.
Because a person who doesn't owe, you keep repeatedly saying the same thing. I don't owe you. I don't know what you're talking about. You come by here one more time, I'm going to go to the police and accuse you of stalking.
Right.
If you call me again, I'm going to accuse you of stalking. So, no, ma'am, I believe you owe him based on the repayments you all have made. Judgment for the plaintiff, $500. Have a good day.
I'd just like to have, get back to having a good relationship with her like it used to be. I always thought the world of her. But
I actually have nothing to say to him. I actually wish my mom never met him.
And that's fine.